Hello and welcome to my latest weekly video news from Madison's. Well, there is lots going on in the world at the moment, isn't there? And congratulations to Mark Carney for becoming the next president, or the latest president of Canada. Of course, Mark Carney ran the Bank of England for a good number of years. And I think ran it well, actually, was a very well regarded, well respected governor of the Bank of England, who steadied its course during some very interesting times with turbulent waters around it. And of course, everyone at the moment is wondering what's going to happen to mortgage rates. The big lenders have already come down sub 4%. They're already pricing in an expected drop when the Bank of England meet next month. It'll probably go down by 0.25%, but let's wait and see. But yeah, congratulations to Mark on the other side of the Atlantic for your new role. Hope it goes well, or continued role, really, wasn't there? It was an interesting, I was listening to about the news about how he came to be president. Fascinating. Anyway, moving on to more property related things. Really interesting report out this week from Savills, which analysed the amount of wealth that's being held in the hands of certain age groups. Now, the over 60 age group controls the majority of property wealth in terms of being owner occupied. They own 56% of housing stock, whereas the under 35s are just at 6%. So showing how difficult it is to get on the property ladder. Over 60s account for 2.89 trillion of wealth, and that's unencumbered property wealth as well. So that's 2.89 of over 60s who own their properties outright in terms of accumulated wealth across those property values. So huge wealth, and hence obviously why we're seeing the bank of mum and dad. They're not debt free. Interestingly, they've got about 60 billion of debt, which represents 2% of the value of what they hold. But I think a lot of that debt is from raising money against your property, either to release equity for your own well-being and your cash flow, etc. A lot of people's wealth is tied up in their home, or to help out your children get on the housing ladder. So the bank of mum and dad, or the bank of family as it's now called, because siblings, aunts, uncles, grannies, granddads, they all lend. Counts as the fifth biggest lender at the moment, but showing that enormous amount of wealth that's held in the upper age groups, which I will shortly be there myself. Really interesting report as well out from Cohab about rentals and looking at the most expensive areas to rent. So you might think in terms of a differential that London is the most expensive, but if you look at the most expensive postcode against its region, it's actually Buckinghamshire and HP9. So the average rent in Buckinghamshire is just under £6,000 per calendar month, 5,920. Whereas for the rest of the South East, it's just over £1,500. So showing that huge differential. There are bits of London that have big swathes, and up in the northwest, Manchester is the biggie that has a big difference against its regional averages. So eye-watering sums of money, though, on rentals, I think we'll agree. £6,000 a month on rent, I can't even get my head around it. It's just much too big. Well, the market feels really busy, just to end on how we're doing at the moment. Masses of valuations. I have got so many new properties going to market. It's unbelievable. I almost can't think of all the ones I've got going, but we had a great new property we launched on Forest Road. Already had an offer on that one. That one might have gone already, just on at 1.895. Really lovely big 5-bedroom family house. A lovely property that I'll be launching in the Erridge Park area, set in 6 acres of gorgeous land. If you're into equestrian, that one has got 6 acres of land, some loose boxes, nice hard standing, a field shelter, beautiful. And if you want horses on a slightly smaller scale, lovely property, the Garden House, just closer to Norland Park. That's got slightly less land, but still good paddocks and loose boxes. So both of those are the most idyllic of countryside settings. Lots of beautiful properties going to market. And of course, it's May bank holiday again this weekend. So the sun is definitely shining. My weekend last week, I've got a good start because I went to the Pickering Cancer Drop-in Centre St George's Day charity lunch, raised over 26,000, and well done to Brian Whiting of Whiting Hammond Pub Group for shaving off his hair, gosh, that'd be good, hair for charity. Really well done, Brian. It was lovely to see so many great business owners from across the town and raise money in such a good cause. And thank you to my guests for joining myself and my husband James at what was a great lunch. I do hope you have a great weekend. Enjoy that extra bank holiday day off, and I look forward to seeing you next week. Bye bye.